have some more examples of addition of rational numbers. So let's say we have negative 4 fifth plus a negative 3, a positive 3 6. Okay? So adding these two fractions, what are we going to do first? Since the denominator are not the same, we need to make the denominator the same by multiplying the fractions by the denominator. Meaning, we are going to multiply this 6 to the whole of this fraction and 5 to the whole of this fraction. That's one way of doing it. Okay? It's a technique. Okay? It's easier to do that. So, now we need to multiply 5 by times 6 and 4 by times 6. For this one, we're going to multiply 6 by times 5 and 3 by times 5. Okay? After doing that, we're going to have a new fraction. So 4 times 6 is 24 over 5 times 6 is equal to 30. Okay? Don't forget, there's a negative sign here, so you need to put the negative sign here also. Plus 3 times 5 is 15 over 6 times 5 is 30. Okay? After that, what are we going to do next? Now we are ready to add the fractions or the rational numbers. But before you do that, take a look at the sign. Do they have the same sign?
No.
No, they don't have the same sign. So since they don't have the same sign, what will you do? Are we going to add them
Subtract them.
or subtract? We're going to what? We're going to what? Tino,
Subtract.
listen. Are you listening, Tino? We are going to
Yeah.
what? What are we going to do with the 24 over 30 and 15 over 30? Are we going to add them or subtract?
Subtract.
Why are we going to subtract them?
Because the one with negative more is
Yes, because the two, they have different signs. So since different signs, we're going to subtract them. So the answer will be what? It's 24 minus 15 is equal to
9.
9. So 9 over 30. But what will be the sign of this fraction? The sign of this fraction will be positive or negative? Shaya, it's negative. Why is it negative? Because the bigger number 24 has the sign negative. So the answer here is negative 9 over 30. 9 over 30, is this the final answer?
No.
Why?
You can simplify it.
Yes, you can still simplify this. How are you going to simplify? What is the simplest form of 9 over 30?
Negative 3 over 10.
It's negative 3 over 10. Very good, Shaya. Okay, Tino, do you understand?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, you understand this one. So do you have any question how we get this answer?
No.
Okay, so the final answer of this is 3 over 10. Okay, let's have another example. Let's say we have negative 7 over 20 plus negative 2 over 5. Okay, So for this kind of rational numbers, what are we going to do? Can we add them?
Yes.
Can we add them? Yes, we can add them, but before you do that, you need to make the denominator the same. So making the denominator the same, as you can see here, the first denominator is 20 and the second denominator is 5. Okay? To get the GCF, not the GCF, the LCD of the denominator, 20 and 5, it will give you 20 as the answer. Or in other words, 5, you can make it into 20 because 20 is a multiple of 5. So what are you going to multiply to 5 to give you 20 as the answer?
4.
Yes, it's 4. So you're going to multiply 5 by what? By
4.
times 4
4.
and 2 by times 4. For this one, we're not going to multiply anything na. Okay? It's because the denominator is already 20. So we're making only 5 to 20. Okay? So we can add them or
4.
subtract them. It depends. Okay? Now, let's rewrite the fraction. So that will become negative 7 over 20 plus 2 times 4 is negative 8 over 20. Okay? Now that we have the same denominator, the rational numbers are now the similar fractions, what are we going to do? We can already combine them. Combining them, what are we going to do? Are we going to add or subtract?
Add.
We're going to add them. Why are we going to add them?
Both of them are negative.
Yes, it's
So they're the
because
same.
both numbers here, they have the same sign. So the rule in adding integers, if they have the same signs, you're going to add them. So adding them, it will give us what?
Negative 7, which is not the
It's
answer yet.
negative 15. Okay, it's negative 15 over 20. Negative 15 over 20, is this the final answer?
No.
No. Why? Because what?
Yeah.
Because we can still simplify 15 over 20 by dividing
5.
both by what number?
5.
By dividing it by 5. Okay? So, when we divide this by 5, it will give us the final answer, negative over what? 3
Over.
over 4 or negative 3/4. And that is the final answer. Do you understand? Do you have any question?
No.
Shaya, do you still have any question here?
No, I understand the
Nana?
question.
Okay, another one. What if we have, can you give me a fraction? Okay, let's say 3 over 7 plus a negative 5 over 3. So what are we going to do here?
Um,
We just need to what?
they're
We're
the
going
same.
to interchange again the fractions. Okay? By multiplying the denominator. Okay? We just interchange this. This denominator here multiplied to this, and this denominator multiplied to this whole fraction. Okay? Doing so, we're going to get what? So this is times 3 times 3. And then here, this is times 7. And then here, times 7. Okay? So, we're going to get fraction, which is, the new fraction will be 9 over
-1
21 plus a negative what? Negative
35
35
over 5.
over 21. Now that they have the same denominator, we're now ready to combine the fraction. But what are we going to do here? Are we going to add these rational numbers or subtract them? We're going to subtract them. It's because they have unlike sign. Okay? The two rationals have different signs. So doing so, we're going to what? Subtract 35 minus 9 and the answer will be what? What's the answer?
26 over 20
It's
and
20 what? 26 over 21. What is the sign? What's the sign? It's negative because 35 here as a negative sign. Okay? But 26 over 21 is not simplified. Why? Because this is an improper fraction. Now we need to make it mixed numbers. Okay? So, changing this to mixed numbers, we're going to get 1 and 5 over 21. Wait. Uh, okay, 1 and 5, 21, it's negative, so the final answer will be negative 1 and 5 over 21. That's the answer. Okay? So do you understand?
yes.
Now, do you now know how to add rational numbers? When to add them or subtract them, even if the operation is addition? Do you
Yeah.
now understand?
I
Okay?
understand.
So, do you have any question? Do you have any question?
I have no questions now, sir.
There's no question? Okay, now you're ready to do some exercises. Are you now ready to do some exercises?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll be
Yeah.
giving you some exercises. Okay? Wait lang ah.